Renegade Immortal, Chapter 630, The Gray Figure. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. The blood shadow moved and charged toward the demonic shadow. Thick demonic spiritual energy poured out from the blood shadow. The demonic spiritual energy turned into demonic flames that shrouded the area, making it impossible to see what was happening inside. Outside the flame, Wang Lin had a majority his blood taken and was now very weak. However, that demonic shadow's lance spell didn't stop. It was only stopped for a moment by the demonic flame before charging at Wang Lin. The lance rushed toward Wang Lin. The slaughter energy condensed on Wang Lin's finger and he pressed it against the tip of the lance without any hesitation. An explosive force entered Wang Lin's hand from the lance and consumed the slaughter energy inside him like crazy. At the same time, the slaughter energy entered the lance and began to destroy it. There was a series of explosions, making it seem like thunder was echoing between Wang Lin and the ancient demon. When the 1,000,000 strands of slaughter energy were about to collapse, Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Then he withdrew his finger and retreated several feet. The slaughter energy on his hand was given a brief moment of rest, so its unending power swelled up again, allowing him to immediately recover a bit. Wang Lin's finger reached out once more and landed on the lance as it closed in. This cycle continued until Wang Lin had retreated over 1,000 feet. Finally, the power of the lance weakened and was eventually destroyed by a strand of devilish energy from Wang Lin. Wang Lin's face was extremely pale, and due to the massive loss of blood, he was breathing hard. But instead of stopping to rest, he quickly rushed away. He was rushing toward the Demon Valley at the center of the capital. The first step was to break the demonic screen around the capital. The second step was to get within 500 feet of the ancient demon to borrow his aura to call out Bei Lou's blood shadow. The third step was to go into the ancient demon's hiding place and take the item the ancient demon's soul was trapped in. Wang Lin had no intention of watching the battle between the two ancient demons inside the fog. He moved like a bolt of lightning and entered the holy land of the fire demon country, the Demon Valley. The Demon Valley was extremely quiet. In the depths of the valley stood a huge statue that was filled with demonic spiritual energy. Large amounts of demonic spiritual energy rose up into the sky toward the ancient demon's body to help it battle Bei Lou. Wang Lin took a step but quickly stopped. A ripple spread out from the statue, and as the ripple spread, the demonic spiritual energy coming from the statue stopped rising up into the sky. The demonic spiritual energy fused together to form an ancient demon avatar the same size as Wang Lin. This ancient demon had 2 horns and floated in the air. Strands of demonic spiritual energy floated behind the avatar and connected to the statue. He coldly looked at Wang Lin with eyes that had a rich demonic glow. Wang Lin looked at the ancient demon, and after pondering a bit, he retreated. Although this ancient demon was only an avatar, it was also extremely powerful. Wang Lin calculated that unless he used Ling Tianhou's sword energy, he wouldn't be able to fight against it. Wang Lin, break that statue and help me merge with it. If you do so, you won't have to help me anymore on the matter of merging with the other 7 ancient demons. As for the things I promised you, I'll do them immediately after I fuse. Didn't you want the comprehension of the inheritance of the ancient demon? Break the statue, and when I fuse, I'll take your divine sense in with me. As a result, it will be as if you had obtained 2 inheritances, which will benefit you greatly. Also, I have helped you many times already and only ask for this in return. Wang Lin, help me. Bei Lou's voice echoed in Wang Lin's heart. Wang Lin pondered a bit and let out a sigh. All the benefits Bei Lou promised aside, just the fact that he helped Wang Lin through 2 life-and-death situations was enough for Wang Lin to act. Wang Lin's eyes became cold, and he moved one of Ling Tianhou's sword energy to his finger. The golden glow from the sword energy was released and lit up the entire Demon Valley. The ancient demon avatar made of demonic spiritual energy became serious. Then it moved both of his hands and drew in the air. Various demonic symbols giving off demonic spiritual energy appeared before it. Wang Lin took a deep breath and no longer hesitated as he threw Ling Tianhou's sword energy out. At this moment, the entire Demon Valley was filled with sword energy, and the demonic spiritual energy collapsed under the sword energy. The tyrannical intent from Ling Tianhou's sword energy exploded forth and turned into a storm that swept the Demon Valley. Crackling sounds came from the sword energy as the storm swept the area, and countless cracks immediately appeared on the sword energy. The sky was covered in sword energy, and the demonic spiritual energy was shredded by the sword energy. The symbols drawn by the ancient demon avatar shone brightly. There was thin black lightning linking them together to form a net that prevented Ling Tianhou's sword energy from closing in. However, the Fire Demon Country's ancient demon was using a majority of his divine sense in the battle against Bei Lou, and this avatar he had left here was only equal to a late-stage ascendant cultivator. If Wang Lin didn't have Ling Tianhou's sword energy, it would have been a hopeless battle. But with Ling Tianhou's sword energy, Wang Lin was unstoppable. The sword energy rushed forth and released a bright golden glow. The moment the sword energy touched the symbols, all of the symbols collapsed one by one. The sword energy pierced through the symbols and charged directly at the ancient demon avatar. The ancient demon avatar's expression changed greatly. Then it turned into a mass of demonic spiritual energy. It rushed out like crazy and surrounded Ling Tianhou's sword energy. Sword hymns came from the thick demonic spiritual energy. Wang Lin took a step, and when he landed, he was before the statue. Without any hesitation, Wang Lin pressed his right hand on the statue. Stop! Two sounds louder than thunder arrived at the same time, one from the sky and one from the demonic fog trapping the sword energy. Both arrived almost at the same time, and they were each like thunder roaring at the same time. A huge hand descended from the sky and descended on Wang Lin at a shocking speed. The demonic fog formed a head of an ancient demon that rushed at him to devour him. Wang Lin's eyes lit up, and the celestial energy inside his body activated. At the moment the hand and head rushed at him, the celestial energy inside his body poured into the statue. There was a series of cracking sounds, and cracks appeared on the statue. Then a large amount of demonic spiritual energy escaped through the cracks. At this moment, Ling Tianhou's sword energy charged out of the demonic fog and pierced through the head coming at Wang Lin. Then, with one thought from Wang Lin, it landed on the statue. There was a loud bang, and the statue completely collapsed. At the moment it collapsed, the hand coming at him dissipated, and that was immediately followed by an unwilling roar from the sky. Shortly after, there were sounds of spells colliding. Bei Lou's attacks clearly made it so the ancient demon couldn't bother Wang Lin. The statue collapsed, and large amounts of demonic spiritual energy surged out. Wang Lin saw a piece of the hand's bone inside this demonic spiritual energy. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Then his right hand reached out and grabbed this bone. At the moment he touched the bone, an unimaginable force directly entered his body and smashed into his origin soul. Wang Lin's origin soul suddenly trembled, and then he arrived in a mysterious space. There was no sky or earth, only an endless void. Although this was the case, there was a mysterious force shrouding the area. When Wang Lin's mind was here, he felt a sense of refinement that continued to rise. A series of scenes appeared in the void before him. These were all scenes of some of the spells he had learned in his life. One of the scenes was that of a very young boy waving his hand and slowly lifting a large stone. The young boy's eyes were filled with excitement as he continued to control the large stone. The scene trembled and collapsed. Then the young boy walked out from the scene and looked at Wang Lin. He let out a smile and sat down beside Wang Lin. However, his hand continued to move, and the attraction spell was circling around him. The other scene was that of a cold-looking youth with long, flowing hair. His eyes were closed, but when he opened them, there was a flash of cold light. An unimaginable killing intent appeared in his eyes. Before him, countless core formation cultivators had their cores shattered one after another before they died. This youth also walked out from the scene. After looking at Wang Lin, he sat down as well. As his hair flowed in the air, there was a flash of the G realm's killing intent on his body. There was also a scene of Wang Lin using the Finger of Death, Demonic Finger, and the Underworld River, and the Wang Lins using the various spells all walked out and sat down. Aside from this, there was another scene that shocked Wang Lin's mind. It was a Wang Lin wearing a gray robe. He had 1,000,000 strands of slaughter energy surrounding him, and everywhere he went was filled with destruction. He seemed to notice Wang Lin's gaze and turned to look at Wang Lin. His eyes were completely gray. All of these various Wang Lins from these various scenes walked out, and all of them scattered. Some of them had their eyes closed and were cultivating. Some of them were displaying their spells. One of them was actually using the Stop Celestial spell. Wang Lin was deeply shocked by the scene before him. He was not unfamiliar with this scene. Back then, when he was picking a spell from the All-Seer, he saw the same thing. Each All-Seer was using a different spell. However, Wang Lin immediately sobered from the shock, and he noticed the difference. The figures inside the All-Seer's mind were solid, as if they were real people, so it was impossible to tell the difference. However, his own figures were between corporeal and incorporeal. They were neither solid nor illusory. Corporeal and incorporeal. Could it be? Could this be a spell that is created when one reaches the peak of the first step and is about to enter the Illusory Yin and Corporeal Yang stage? I was able to experience this change early due to the comprehension from the ancient demon inheritance. Wang Lin took a deep breath. He was only guessing about all of this and had no way of knowing the truth. Suddenly, these figures began to fade until there was no trace of them left. The one to fade the fastest was the gray-robed Wang Lin practicing the celestial slaughter art. At that instant, Wang Lin suddenly saw an opportunity, and his body floated forward. He fused with the gray-robed Wang Lin using the celestial slaughter art.